Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the channel and welcome to Madden 24 news or talk. We're going to be covering franchise in particular, just because there are some new features that apparently are going to be in the game that I didn't cover in my last one. I don't know how we know this, but apparently Madden School here, this is where I'm getting this information. It's confirmed to be in the game, so let's cover it and take a look here. I want it because there's actually some neat things in here. Madden School has covered the game professionally since 2008, and during that entire time, each team was always limited to 3 slots per trade. We know that it's gone up to 6, but there are a little bit of rules. You can trade 3 players and 3 picks, or you can trade 5 draft picks and 1 player, but you won't be able to trade 4 to 6 players in the same trade. In other trade related news, you will now be able to trade up to 3 years worth of the drafts instead of the 2 years in the previous games. So you could only go up to 2025. So in your first year of the franchise, you could trade your 24th, 25th, or your 26th, which would be the 3rd year out, which is pretty cool. Also, one of the biggest annoying things about Madden is this right here, the auto reordering depth chart. We all spend a decent amount of time at the beginning of each year setting your depth chart. Make sure the right people get the playing time, right? And then randomly in week 5, you realize you got to sign an extra wide receiver. And the entire depth chart gets completely rearranged. Well, not just when you re-sign, but it just randomly auto generates your depth chart no matter what. They have finally got a slider apparently, or a button that you can toggle that nonsense off. Thank the good Lord, right? Then one of the biggest headlines was the contract restructuring. Franchise gamers have asked for contract restructuring in franchise mode for as long as I can remember. While we don't yet have all the flexibility that a real life manager would have, we will have one form of contract restructuring in Madden 24. Okay, that one option is you'll be able to reduce a player's salary to the league minimum and redistribute it to that player's bonus money across the rest of his contract. So yeah, if you want to top load one season, or like top load at the beginning of a contract, I guess you could do that, right? Technically, because you could lower his salary lower at the end of, but you'd have to take that money and put it into bonus in the first year if you wanted to, right? Yeah, that's interesting. I'm actually kind of excited for that. Well, hopefully they expand on it. I already covered the training. We already know training camp, weekly practice, and mini games are back. Yada yada. It's cool. It's coming back, right? We've already had it before. If you're an OG, this is the one thing I really want to cover: XP progression / regression sliders. Commissioners now have an extra tool they can use to customize player progression and regression in Madden 24. Younger players and players with lower ratings progress quicker, and their older counterparts, or they progress quicker than their older counterparts. This is the first year where commissioners can customize that and how it works. Commissioners will have the same ability to change how older players regress, or regression works. So if there's I'm hoping this, I have a worry that one, having a slider is cool. I just hope they implement the slider option correctly. I doubt they will have the right sliders that we need, but I hope it's per position, because regression sometimes, or not sometimes, but it hits certain positions harder than others. And too often times, you'll have regression for a guy who had a good season or whatever, and it'll be -5 like accuracy for short or something. Like it'll be something that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? I hope that they have a slider per position for regression. Also with age, I don't think I don't know. We don't know much on what the sliders look like. We just know that we're gonna have some sort of slider for these right here, which is good assets. Again, it's EA, so don't expect it to be right on the first game. Probably by Madden 2028, the sliders will be exactly what we want them to be. Maybe, I don't know. Rookie draft, nothing has changed about the scouting system or draft system other than the fact that they have improved on the variety of auto-generated draft classes for free agency. Nothing has changed how that works except for the fact that we have a little more control as the commissioner, as in our franchise, to limit. We have a little more control on to limit on how many free agent bids are placed by each team. So this is more for online kind of thing, or if you want to set a rule for yourself and make sure you have to obey it, you could also do it for yourself, which is probably what I'll do. So that way when I'm tempted to try and offer 10 players a minimum salary, I won't do it. I don't know. For me, I don't really cheat the system, or I try not to anyways, but this is more for online connected franchise, which is good. Give us all the control, in my opinion. Other control tools that we have now are the ability to turn off M factors, which is basically the momentum shift, which I'm not a big fan of the momentum. I think they implemented it wrong. I was hoping that they would go for something like NCAA 14 had, but I don't know. For the fantasy draft leagues, for those of you who prefer fantasy draft leagues, you will now have the ability to use a snake draft system. So that's pretty dope as well. Overall, that is all we're going to be covering today. Let me know, what do you think on any of these sections? Which one do you think is a dub? Which one do you think is an L? I'll tell you this right now. All of this sounds good. I like it, but you want to know what I'm worried about? I'm worried that it's just not going to matter because this game is going to be unstable when we get it. I mean, we remember how bad it was when they added the coaching tree and how the game was broken, or we lost all of our franchise files. A lot of people did. And so now I'm just worried. They're adding all these new things, like the ability to add 6 trade slots. What is that going to cause? A month of corrupted files, or maybe 2 months? Or, the contract restructuring, is that going to screw up the salary caps more than they already are? What is going to come with all of this? There's going to be a negative thing, and that's what worries me. They haven't come out and said, hey, we're sorry. We've focused on stability. We're going back to the roots to bring you a finished, polished football game. They're just telling us about these new things and not addressing one of the big issues that they had last year, which was stability, and that worries me a ton. It almost makes me not want to buy the game day one and wait until they get it fixed before I start my personal franchise. Because I don't feel like starting over, nor do I have the time or patience to do so. So I'm hoping day one the game is working and we have no issues there and we don't have to wait for anything. And if all of this stuff comes into the game and is polished and great, then I'm excited. But I don't know, it's EA. So I'll let you guys decide on what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.